grade 6. Today you're going to need a piece of paper, you're going to need a pencil, eraser, and a ruler. I have two sizes here. To be honest, I think I'm going to use the bigger one. I like it, but either one is going to work fine for you. We're going to continue exploring perspective. We just did a lot of work on aerial perspective, and now we're going to look at how to draw within perspective, and we're going to start with 1 point perspective. So 1 point perspective has two very important key points that we have to have. First of all, we always have to have a horizon line, and the other thing on the horizon line, we always need to have a vanishing point, which usually is in the middle, and that is where your vision vanishes. So a really good visual definition, I guess, for the horizon line is when you are taking the ferry from Sheko, and you can see the line, like it's very clear, the line where the ocean ends and the sky begins. It's a very straight line. So the horizon line is always usually very straight. When we're in the city, the horizon line kind of gets a little bit jagged and bumpy because we have so many buildings or mountains or whatever your view is. The vanishing point is a good explanation is when you're driving or walking on a road, you can see up ahead that all the lines kind of converge along the road, and you can see where your vision vanishes in 1 point. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to start with my paper like lengthwise, and I'm going to get my ruler, because for this exercise we always want to have a ruler. I'm going to put my horizon line, is my first step. I'm going to draw that, and I'm going to put it like near the top because I'm making a really cool composition and I want to have a lot of ground space and not so much sky space. But whatever you decide, you put your horizon line down, and you see that. I may have to use the ink pen, which I'm not terribly keen on, but I may have to for this point so that you guys can see it. So let's see if I do that again with my ink pen. You might be able to see it better. See, there we go. There's my horizon line. And then I'm going to put my vanishing point right here. And then an easy thing, I'm going to go back to my definition here. An easy thing, so remember this is my horizon line, but I usually always draw it with my ruler. And then this is my vanishing point. And then an easy thing to remember, this is my vanishing point. I'm going to call it a VP, vanishing point, and then this is the horizon. When you are drawing, does that make it easier to see? When you are drawing, there's three main lines that you're going to draw with when we do this. One is going to be a horizontal line. One is going to be a vertical line. And the last line that you're going to draw with is going to be a diagonal line. So when you're doing 1 point perspective, the horizon line always stays the same. The horizontal line, also the horizon line also stays the same, but the horizontal line always goes back and forth. Vertical lines always go up and down, but all diagonal lines only go in one direction, and that is always they go towards the vanishing point. So that should help you figure that out, just as a rule of thumb. Okay, I'm going to go back to my pencil because I'm going to do some planning. So the first thing that I want to do is, so how I do it is I always line up my ruler at my vanishing point, and then that gives me a very good angle. And I'm just going to make 2 lines, and I want them to be kind of make a triangle because I'm making that kind of like a road thing that goes like that. So I'm going to make 2 lines, and they're diagonal, so they're going to go towards the vanishing point. Now I'm going to turn my picture around right now because it's going to be easier for me to draw the next part upside down. And all I'm going to do for the next part is I'm going to draw a series of horizontal lines, and it will turn out really cool, trust me. But so because this is going from nearest to us here to this is supposed to be the distance, what's going to happen is everything has to get closer together as we go back, and it also has to get smaller. So my lines, I'm going to start with my lines quite far spaced, quite spaced out, spaced far. I'm making my lines so that they come off just outside of the other lines. And I'm making them so they're kind of going to be like planks. And I'm not going to tell you what we're drawing yet. You'll get it. It's kind of easy and fun. But here, when I get to about halfway, I have to start to think, because I have to start making my lines kind of come closer together, and I have to make them shorter. I have to make sure they follow these lines. Okay, so I'm going to start bringing them in and making them a little bit closer together. Nice and easy. I think I'm not drawing dark enough, so I hope you can see. I turned on the light. Anyways, so here we go. Getting closer together, nearer to the top, close. Now, if I was a mathematician or a scientist or somebody really smart, I would actually measure this and I would know how far apart to put all these, because when the people that actually made what I'm drawing, they did measure it. It's very mathematically like correct, but because I'm just drawing it, it doesn't have to be perfect, because really, who has the time to make all these little lines up here perfect? Okay, so there's all my little lines. Now I'm going to go over this in ink so you can see more what I'm doing, but you can see all my lines. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to draw 2 more lines with this, the diagonal lines from my vanishing point, but very close together. So this was my original line, and I'm going to draw a new line close together. But this is where it's going to get tricky, because I'm actually going to decide which one of these, because these are going to be planks. These are supposed to be planks of wood. So I'm going to decide which one is a plank of wood. So I'm going to make a line here. Can you see that? So that's my first one. So then I'm going to leave a space. Oh, I moved the ruler. Don't move the ruler, because it has to be all on the same line. Oh, I got to get back to that line. Okay, and then there's going to be one there. And I'm going to make a line there. And make a line there. 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 And then you'll notice when you get up to the very top, it kind of like all melds in together. You see how that's starting to make these kind of planky things. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to put my ruler on the vanishing point, and I just want it to be very close in where I want it. Okay, where's my vanishing point? And then bring it in. Oh, stop. It's awkward because I'm doing it in a different way, but I can do it. I can do it. There we go. That looks good, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, same thing. So I have to make sure that these lines are going to be the same. So I'm going to put one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and then I'm going to start to lose it in the line, and we're going to go up. Okay, so when we've got this far, now we're going to use our eraser. So you just want to clean up your lines, and clean up your lines on the edges, and then you also want to erase the lines That's starting to look really good. Do you know what I'm making yet? Did anyone figure it out? Okay, so I'm going to erase these lines, and then so in each, what am I talking about? In each one of these tubes, you have to erase these lines. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to erase these lines, and then I will show you the next step. Okay, so I have gone ahead and erased my pencil lines. I think I got most of them. And I have outlined it with ink. Please, you don't have to outline it with ink. I just did it so you could see it. Any ideas what we're making yet? Doesn't it look like it's going receding in the distance? Okay, so the last thing that we have to do is we have to make it look 3D. And it's really actually easy to do the 3D part. All you have to do, remember, is we're going to do some vertical lines and some horizontal lines. So if you go to the very bottom one, all you're going to do is you're going to do a little vertical line, And then you're going to do a horizontal line, and this doesn't have to actually be perfectly straight because it's kind of supposed to look like wood anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. And then you see how it starts to look like it's 3D. So we're gonna do it on the next one, and I'm just gonna draw some lines to kind of cover the other one so I can see what's going on. We're gonna do a vertical line, so that's up and down, and then we're gonna do a horizontal line across underneath the other one, right there. So we're gonna do. Didn't make that one very straight because it's fine because it's supposed to look a little bit like wood, so that's okay. Does that start to what's going on? It looks like it's going somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna do the next one. So I'm gonna do the vertical line, and then I gotta do the horizontal line, kind of straightish. I'm using a ruler, but I'm kind of like wonking my hand. But you do you, however works. There we go. Next one. Now same again. You have to be vigilant. You have to watch, because as you get closer, these guys, these little line things we're making on the bottom, they're going to start getting smaller. Why? Why do they have to start getting smaller? Who is the genius in the class that knows that? Because it's receding and we want it to look like it's receding, so they're gonna have to start getting smaller. So this is the good part. If you kind of make a mistake, it doesn't really matter that much. So these guys here have to start getting thinner because we don't see them as well because they're far in the distance. So there we go. One more here. And I actually can even start doing it with my hand because it's so far away, it's almost blurry in my eyes. There we go. Okay, so that is the first step. Actually, I kind of feel like if this was a real, okay, so there's a few things this could be. I think in my mind what I want it to be though needs one more line. So I'm just gonna, oops, vanishing line, this line. I'm just gonna make this line here like a little bit thicker because I feel like in real life this is a little bit thicker, but obviously not for the whole way. There, that's starting to look like I want. I'm gonna do it for this side as well. Vanishing point, line it up just a little here. Boom, 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 all the way up to the top. There we go. Okay, there we are. That is step one. Now I'm gonna do step two because pretty sure if you followed along, your brain might be a little bit hurting right now. So I'm gonna let you do this part. This is step one, and then we'll do step two next class. I hope you can figure this out. I hope you can make this beautiful masterpiece, and I will show you the next step next class.